Hello and welcome to the Kenneth Vercammen Law Office Legal Podcast. This edition we talk about revocable trust. Now, many people will contact us in New Jersey for a revocable trust, and I always ask, why do you think you need to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on revocable trust? My mother-in-law used to always ask me every other year, I want to come in and get a trust. I would ask her, were you watching Susie Orman on TV? And she said, yes. It goes, Susie Orman is exactly right if you live in New York, California, Florida, where the probate process is very complicated. But New Jersey, the probate process is easy and inexpensive. And, I go to most people, why do you think you need to spend these thousands of dollars when a regular will is good for you? Now, what are some of the negatives about having a revocable trust in New Jersey? Well, number one, there's no need to avoid probate. In other states, probate is very complicated, but New Jersey probate is inexpensive. It takes a little time. To probate a will in New Jersey, also the executor needs to do is bring the original will, death certificate, check for about $150, and the will is admitted to probate. I'd say, certainly less than $4,000 or $5,000 setting up trust. Also, when you're setting up a revocable trust, you're not owning the assets anymore. The assets are going to be retitled. Let's see. So, the house isn't going to be owned by you. It's going to be owned by your revocable trust. Your bank accounts and different assets are not owned by you. They're owned by the revocable trust. Number three, let's see, in some states people have trust because they don't want to have to get involved with filing an inventory, but New Jersey doesn't require an inventory in probate matters. Let's see, the executor admits the will to probate, and in 90% of the cases, the circuit has no further involvement, probably even more than 90%. The executor prepares a informal accounting. The different beneficiaries sign a release and refunding bond saying that looks good to me. If it's an administration, that gets filed, but with the circuit. But other than that, nothing. And also, nothing. People sometimes say, "Oh, I want things to be private." Well, let's say, aside from the will, most of the papers in the circuit's office are private, and there's no accounting, so nothing is there. Now, also, number four, a living trust, the revocable trust, does not shield your estate from death taxes. People are confused. A living trust does not protect assets from Medicaid. So if debt taxes are due, they got to be paid. If someone went into a nursing home and you had a revocable trust, a lot of times, I tell people you wasted your money. And then finally, the last thing is that if I mentioned about having to retitle assets, if you have a mortgage, the mortgage company is not going to permit a new deed to transfer the house into the trust. And even if there's no mortgage, the following documents have to be prepared and filed to put the house into the name of a trust. Well, number one, a deed, then the seller's residency certification, then the affidavit of consideration, then you're writing a check because they're not doing credit cards, for recording of approximately $150. You have to there has to be a cover sheet to the county clerk and an affidavit of title. So I tell most people, listen, in New Jersey at least, why do you think I love making money. I tell people, if you insist upon having a trust, for $3,000 a piece, that's good, but most people, a will is fine. For more information on estate planning, visit our website, njlaws.com. And for representation, contact Ken Vercammen's office in Edison, 732-572-0500.